You know, sometimes we all do those jobs that you just don't want to get to. I've been putting off way too long. This is one of those. Stick around. It's gonna be not fun. When I refurbished the engine for this, 6 years ago, I cheaped out. Not on everything. What I cheaped out on was not inside the engine, but I cheaped out on stuff that was on the outside of the engine. And what did I do with that? How did I manage that? Well, I hope that LED doesn't really mess things up. On the screen it looks kind of funky. So let's turn. I spent good money for a good quality oil pump. I spent good money on a timing chain set. I spent good money on seals and gaskets and new sensors. So, Raj, where'd you cheap out at? Where I cheaped out at was on the coil packs. I bought a set of 8 because all the others were either original to the engine, a few I had replaced way back when, or off the parts engine that I bought. Which, long story short, a couple years before I did the engine swap on this, I bought a same year Super Duty 5.4. There are a few differences. The oil pan's different, the oil pickup is different, and the oil filter location is different. I don't know that the oil filter location would have been able to be done on this. Maybe not a 4-wheel drive, but I could have probably done it on the 2-wheel drive because this is only a rear-wheel drive. I didn't buy a 4-wheel drive when we bought this in California because, well, we weren't planning to move to Utah and we weren't into the 4-wheel thing yet. So the task at hand is, instead of putting in cheap coil packs, well, I didn't spring for the Motorcraft brand or Autolite. I think it's Motorcraft that's the actual Ford brand. Autolite's a good secondary, but you know what's a really good alternate to both? AC Delco. So, for those who don't know what a coil pack is, a coil pack sits on top of your spark plug and gets a signal from the computer to fire. It's got a coil built in, hence the name Coil Pack, or Coil On Plug. This fits down inside the valve cover, which is really convenient if you got a 4-valve engine. This isn't a 4-valve. Anyway, but it fits down inside there, clips in. It's got a bolt hole to hold it in place, and then it's got a 2-wire connection. Magic, I tell you. Absolute magic. Anyway, I don't know if the little screen can show it or not, but it does have AC Delco branding on it. Physically the same as what I'm taking out, minus the branding. So what am I working with here? Well, I'm going to try something really unique here after some critiquing on something I did about a year ago. I've got a camera for an overview. I'll move it to the other side when I do the other side. But let me show you what I'm working with here. What I'm working with here is each of these coil packs is deep down inside. This one's the easiest to get to. That one's not so bad. That one's not so bad. But that one way back there, I don't know if you can see that yellow or not, but I've already replaced that one and this one. I chose to go with yellow ones because, well, it's easy to see that you've made changes. So I've replaced 1, 2, a couple of them. Probably the only ones I really need to replace are the one that's way back there. For that, I have to replace the power steering reservoir, and I have to remove the fuel rail. I don't think I have to remove the fuel rail on this side It might make it a little bit easier though, I think. For 3 of them I can snake it out without that. The 4th one I may need to do that because there's just too much stuff in the way. So anyway, even though this is a full-size truck, the 5.4 is a big engine. Physically large. It's 5.4 liters, 331 inches, cubic inches. But it's as big as a big block. And you know, I mean, I still have the one I took out. It's still sitting over here. The bottom end is fine, but the top end is where I have issues. And so anyway, I put the truck intake on top of that. The throttle body's on top, facing down. This one faces forward. They're both on top. But I'd have been very happy if the Super Duty one had been with the aluminum intake. I would have definitely altered everything to make that work. It's a strong. It provides a little better torque than the truck, and a lot more torque than what the cars got with the 4.6s. So anyway, here we go. Let's dive in. You know, I'm kind of a tall guy, and yet I still have to find the clip. I still have to climb on something in order to, there we go. So you unclip that and pull it clear of the harness. You got to be careful because the wire goes in 2 different directions, which, come on Ford, you can do better than that, right? So let's see. I can't remember if I have to undo my and suddenly I have a fly bugging me, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, I think that's free and clear. Let's see if I can get my big fingers down in there to grab that. Or I guess I go grab another tool and go grab my... Like I said, I'm a fairly good-sized guy, but I still have to do a climb on a block in order to be able to do this. I'm going to do it an easier way, I think. I'm going to put a magnet on my little reach tool and see if that does the trick for getting that screw out. It's funny, I thought the forecast said like a 40 or 45% chance of rain today. I like this. This is good. We need this. We need a lot of it. Oh, good grief. The rubbers are stuck pretty good. Okay, let's not pull the injectors all the way out. How about we pull that off the injectors? That sounds like a good plan to me. But either way, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Whew. I'm gonna smell like gasoline. I hope the others aren't as hard to pull as this one is. There we go. Whew. There'll be a little oil in the cylinder after that. Okay, that's one out. I've got a bucket for this. Well, down. what's sad is there's absolutely no way to tell if those are bad just by looking at them, you know? Unfortunately, there's really just no way to tell whether they're good or bad from looking at them. Although sometimes, I'll do that for this camera up here. Sometimes you can see scorch marks. But that's not the case with that. I don't know why this truck seems to go through coil packs other than I was cheap. All right, well, it's back where it belongs. Now for the fun part, getting it to fit where the hole is. I might be able to do that without sticking both hands down in there. You know, for the views. Okay. There we go. That pops right in place. Okay, I will go back and well, you know what? I always say that and then I never do. So I'll get in there and I'll give it a quick bump. There. Like the saying goes, that ain't going anywhere. Well, I'm a little upset because I'm trying to get that coil pack out. I got the wiring unconnected. I got the bolt out of it. But that rubber boot is really stuck down in there. That should be criminal. Anyway, I'll get back to it. That's just me complaining. That's just me complaining. Well, after taking a lunch break and getting cooled off, because now, after that little bit of rain, I think it about 20 minutes, I guess, total. Now it's hot and muggy. Not as bad as when I was in Miami a month and a half ago, but it's not much fun. Anyway, I did get that out. I got to put the new one in, but it's not there anymore. So I'll get to the next one, but yeah, that thing was stuck on there, and it seems to me that the coil spring that's in there that actually sits on top of the spark plug had grown very comfortable where it was, and I broke the inside of the coil pack getting it out. So anyway, time to put the new one in. obviously it's the next day. And I got all the coil packs in finally, thank goodness. What a zoo on my part. I did wind up breaking one of the coil packs. I already threw it away, or I'd show it to you. All that I got left now is air filter, put the cleaner back in. Got the battery on charge, hasn't been up for a while. But yeah, and it's another lovely day. It's very, very humid for us. I know on the other side of the mountain there, they're getting some rain and some lightning. At least that's what the WeatherWise app shows. Anyway, I gotta finish this, and then I gotta button up the grill and start changing some bulbs and stuff like that. So, more in a bit. Well, I'm going to apologize for parts of the video where the LED lights are flashing because I incorrectly set up the frame rate. But it's nice to have that done. And looking forward to the next project, which is definitely going to be tearing that bad thing apart. Oh, sky's kind of nice looking tonight. Still muggy, but it's not as bad as it was earlier in the day. So, anyway, the truck is still sitting partially in the garage because I was changing taillight bulbs, and it was hot when I was doing it. So, and I thought I was going to replace the turn signal flasher, but I can't find it. And I guess I'll have to put it off for another day because I put all LED lights in. And somewhere I have a box that has lights for the third brake light, which hasn't worked for a long time. But I'll get to that when I find the box. So anyway, took it out for a test drive, and it drives nice. I'm real happy with it. I hope it's a long time before I ever have to do that again. Next time, I may just pay somebody to do it. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, be kind and patient with yourself and others. This is a tough time of year. It's all hot and everybody gets their danders up a little bit. I love you. Roger out.